Hey drifters, DoriJunkie here. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done a car review, so I thought I'd get back into it with the Spyder. It's a tier 5 car, available through the Drift for Fun event, based on the Audi R8 in real life. It's a bit of an oddball in a drifting game, but it's a fun car nonetheless. So we'll just have a look at it on our rating system. Quick refresh on that. It would be based on customization, ease of tuning and performance for a grand total at the end. So we'll see how we go. First up is customization. Body kits are worth 1, body styles are worth 2. So we start out with the Audi. This is how you get it. Bog stock Audi R8, the timeless classic shape. Very subtle lines with a wide stance. Very stable in its drifting. Alright, move on to the slide performance. It's actually convertible, this one. So we'll actually call this a style. Very big rear bar, chunky rear bar there. In the front as well, big ducts, air ducts. Down to the missile. It's very race inspired, like the GT series. Just like to see him in racing in. Very big rear wing, rear diffuser, and very big front diffuser as well. Big round hugging aero. We move on to the R&T, very Rocket Bunny-esque, over fenders, little drift wing there. Very subtle, but enhances it nonetheless. Very nice shape to deal with. It's enhanced. So we'll see what I did with mine. So it's the R&T body kit, and a very loud and proud livery. GFZ logo on the side. Also good for the rear bumper delete. This looks a lot better, I feel. It'd be better if they could have a couple of turbos hanging off that exhaust. But, oh well, so there we go. That's what I did with mine. So we'll sum up. Customization, 2 for the slide performance, 1 point for the other 2. Total of 4. Sort of unexpected, being there's not a lot of aftermarket out there for this car. Body kit's out for this car, but nonetheless. So we'll move on. Next, the ease of tuning. This is how well it drifts. Pro drift free, straight how they give it to you, and how many or how little modifications I have to do to get it to go. Drift well. So the standard specs are 914 horsepower, 972 newton meters of torque, a 0 to 60 time of 3.2 seconds, 1450 kilos. Really is heavy for a drift car. As you can see, it's totally pro drift free. Get into it. Doesn't drift too bad. The first 3 gears are really short. 4th gear is a touch long. It's not bad. It could be just a touch shorter. I bet your 5th gear, yeah, the 5th gear's got nothing at all. But I'll tell you what, I haven't looped it around yet. Straight out of the box. Drifts nicely. Very stable car. Very wide and low platform. The Audi R8. Like I said, apart from the gears, really, it's all I'm really having issues with at the moment. It's not a bad drifter at all. Straight out of the box, even throwing it really sideways, you still can pull itself out of it. So we'll just fix these gear ratios up a little bit, and also just check the engine. Yep, top that up, and then I reckon she should go quite well. Now this is a really good drifting car. Really stable. The gears are really helping now. Help it keep it sideways. Really throw it in the corners. It's not a bad car at all. Like I said, 0 to 60 of 3.2 can be a lot better. That's just how they give it to you. That's often slicks, semi-slicks, of course. But yeah, I have to give this car, that's no suspension modifications at all. That's exactly how they give it to you, pro drift free, and everyone has their own little modifications they like to make it, just make it that much better. Like I said, this car could be a lot faster too. So we'll move on. Ease of tuning, I can only give it a 10 out of 10. There was no suspension wheel or any other modifications needed except for engine and transmission, which every car needs that. So 10 out of 10 for this one. I can highly recommend it. Moving on to performance, I'll be running the stock motor and all the swaps for a combination at the end. Of course, Springstone 1, 19k for 10 points and 10k for 1 point. So we'll start out with the stock motor with the Dori Ultimate tune in it. As you can see, I've got it 947 horsepower, 972 newton meters of torque, a 0 to 60 of 2.8 seconds and 1450 kilos. 2.8 can be a lot quicker, but you lose a lot of driftability. Over 18,200 to be exact. Like I said, it's a fun car. It's not going to set records out there, but it is a fun car. We're moving on to the 3.8 litre swap. Now you may notice that the swap has a lot less horsepower at 829 and a lot less torque at 857, and it's still the same weight, 1450 kilos, for a 0 to 60 of 3.3 seconds. We'll see how it goes. 17,500 points. Like I said, this is one of the rare cars where the swaps actually make the car worse, because they don't lose any weight like they do in all the other ones. And we'll move on to the 3 litre. Again, 0 to 60, 3.3 seconds, because it's still 1450 kilos with only 836 horsepower and 837 newton meters of torque. Like in a lot of the other swaps, the cars, if they've got less horsepower than the standard motor, they give you the car less weight. But in this one, they've got the same weight, so we'll see how it just over 17,000. Like I said, if you're getting this car, don't buy it for the swaps, because the swaps make it worse. Just buy it for the standard motor. Moving on to the 6.2. So I was hoping for a bit more with this one. From 0 to 60 of 3.2, 1,011 newton meters of torque, but still only 835 horsepower. And for some reason they gave it 20 kilos extra weight at 1,470 kilos. I don't know why they did that when they didn't take less weight out for the other engines. So we'll see how it goes. again, around the 17,500 point mark. Like I said, this is one car where the swaps do not make it better. Well, to sum it up, the stock motor, like I said, 18,200 points. It was the best of all the motors, the 3.8, even the 6.2. This is the only car where the 6.2 hasn't made it better. I'm really stunned with that one. But anyway, so we'll take the stock motor, we'll take the 3.8, stock motor 9 out of 10, 3.8, 8 out of 10. Really may have got that to a 9 out of 10 as well, but I really did have a lot of trouble getting that score I got. So a total of 17 out of 20 for the Audi in performance, the Spyder, sorry, in performance. So it's not too bad in the end. But to sum it up, customization, ease of tuning and performance, a total of 31 points. So it's not too bad overall. In the Drift DP leaderboard, it sort of struggled, didn't even get 18,500. But overall, 31 points. It's 5th or 6th on the leaderboard. So we'll have a look. So like we said, on the Drift DP leaderboard, the top 10 there, it didn't even make the top 10 at 18,200. The Horizon GT4 sitting there at the bottom. And it was, what, 7th overall out of the top, in the top 10. A little bit disappointing there. Alright guys, that's been another car review. I'm DoriJunkie, and I'll catch yous on the track.